What is up? Welcome to Every Single Guitars, where I will try to review every single guitar ever made. What a lofty goal. But today I have a cool guitar, another cool guitar. It is a Gibson Les Paul Gothic Morte or Morte or Morty. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's a 2000. Whoa. Oh shit. Yo, hold up. This is the second Gibson Les Paul that I've reviewed on this channel. The first Gibson was the 1971 Gibson Les Paul recording in natural body finish. This is a 2011 Gibson Les Paul Gothic Morte. The case is actually not original. This is a vintage 1980s chainsaw case. I think this is one of the most highly sought after Gibson cases, hard shell cases. There's like a couple of generations, there's like a couple different versions, but this is the one with the gold interior, which I believe is also the most highly sought after chainsaw case. I'm not really too big into cases at all. I don't really care as long as it protects it, but the owner that I got this guitar from had this case with this guitar, so I just decided to get both at once. Let's go to the review. So I got this guitar about 3 days ago. I haven't played it much. I maybe noodled around with it for like 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. First impression when I got this guitar, I always look at the weight. I say this is like a medium weight, medium heavy level. It's not incredibly light. It's not really heavy like the Gibson Les Paul recording or the 1981 Fender all walnut Stratocaster that I reviewed. Those guitars were easily over 9 pounds, like 9-10 pounds. I'd say this is like 7 pounds, like 7.5. It's pretty good. The reason why I decided to buy this guitar, to pick this guitar up, was because I just thought it looked very interesting. If you guys aren't familiar with the guitarist Buckethead, I used to be a Buckethead fan, like in my high school days. He has a custom-made Les Paul by Gibson, and it's like a similar concept to this. But it's all white. This is all black. The fretboard, it doesn't have the pearl inlays. It's just blank. Like the Buckethead setup is pretty simple as well, but there's like some big differences. But you know, from afar, it kind of looks similar to the Buckethead guitar. Another cool thing about this guitar that I really liked was just the look. I mean, it looks very clean. It just looks very basic. You know, a Gibson Les Paul standard, like a Gibson Les Paul custom, they both look really good, but there's like so much like bling to it. You know, there's like the inlays, there's like the Rolex crown looking thing here. You know, the custom has the double white binding and like the gold, and it looks really good. But you know, this is like a completely opposite approach of that. I think it's like a more conservative look. This guitar is all stock, all original, no modifications done. Even the tuners, they're Grover tuners, but it's like black, they're like gray colored. I think it looks pretty sick. The body of this guitar it's like a satin finish. It looks kind of like matte. It's wood, but it's not like the traditional like the gloss or the lacquer or whatever on top. It's just like a kind of like a matte black look. If you guys have owned a like a 2003 Gibson Melody Maker, it's kind of like that, but there's more matte-ish paint on this body compared to the Melody Maker. You know, like I said, I haven't played it a lot, but the neck is very comfortable. It's like it's not a slim neck. It's like a thicker side. I'd say like kind of like a 60s SG, where it's like kind of chunky, or like a Baja California or a Baja Telecaster. It's kind of like that kind of neck feel. I have larger hands, so you know, I prefer these kind of necks. It's pretty comfortable to me. The overall quality of this guitar from a first impression standpoint is very good. Structurally, it's very solid. The knobs, they're not cheap knobs. These are very high quality knobs. Even though knobs are knobs, the function is just to turn Like when you turn these knobs, you have a very solid feeling. It feels like it's like a true Gibson guitar, because it is. Another interesting thing about this guitar is it has this thing. It's like a 9-volt battery active pickup thing. Like this is actually my first guitar with an active pickup. I'm not really too knowledgeable about active pickups, like with the battery and stuff, and I kind of avoided that kind of guitars because, you know, I don't want a guitar where you have to use a battery to make the sound come out of the pickups. You know, so far I haven't had any problems with this. I haven't even opened it. This was with the original owner, and he played it for a couple years and the battery still works, but I'm not sure if the pickups don't work if the battery's not in there. I have no idea. The pickups sound good. It has a very like dark tone. It's good for rock, and it's actually pretty good for blues too, surprisingly, even though this is it was marketed as a rock goth type of guitar. Like I play a lot of clean tones, like clean channels, and dude, this sounded actually pretty good. Like I said, I don't have too much experience with Gibson guitars, but this is my second American-made Gibson Les Paul that I bought. The first being the Les Paul recording. So far, out of all the American Les Pauls that I've played, dude, the quality is very good. You know, I personally think Gibson is kind of overpriced. It's kind of on the higher end of guitars. Like, you know, no one should be paying like $3,000 for like a new guitar, you know, made in 2019, unless it's like a Les Paul custom, then I may kind of understand. But dude, Gibson guitars are like pretty overpriced in my opinion. You know, I've seen a lot of the recent Gibson models, like the 2018, 2019, like Les Pauls, SGs, like the ES335s, and dude, the quality in my opinion is not that good compared to the price you pay. This one, a 2011 model, this is like what, 8 years ago? Like, this is good quality. I would put this quality level over the Gibsons that come out right now, and I don't know why. The quality level of Gibsons just doesn't feel good for the price you pay. I don't know if it's just for me, but you know, when I went to Guitar Center and I played like a $3,500 it was the what do you call it, the ES335, dude, like it sounded good, but it kind of like, it felt like an Epiphone almost. Like the hardware felt kind of cheap. The neck, it was like too like glossy. It was just like it was a good guitar overall, but for the price, it was like no way. Like I would not even pay 1.5 for that, you know. But this, you know, this is around like $1,000, and dude, the quality of this is very good. Another minor detail about this guitar is this thing, the toggle. Like from here you guys can't tell, but on a classic Gibson Les Paul toggle switch, I'm pretty sure it goes up and down like that. You go like, you push it up and you push it down. This one, it has kind of like an angle. It's like kind of like this instead of like that, if that makes sense. So when you push it up, you're pushing it up like this way, kind of like a Strat. You know, the selector switch, it's like on an angle, you know, rather than being up and down. I mean, it's hard to explain, and it's a very, very minor detail, but that's something I've noticed. But overall, you know, I think this is a pretty solid guitar. I haven't owned a Les Paul standard, so I don't know like what the standard model is, but you know, for a Les Paul, a Gibson Les Paul, I think this is a very good purchase. Structural quality, the build quality, dude, I give this like an 8 out of 10. Like, this is very well made, you can immediately tell that this is a quality guitar. Tone, I haven't played, like I said, I haven't played or played around with it too much, but it sounded good. The tone, I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10, to be honest. So like overall, I think this is an excellent guitar. Even though the name kind of sounds kind of like childish, a little bit like Gothic Morte or whatever, regardless of the name, like in terms of just from a guitar standpoint and like an instrument and musical instrument standpoint, like dude, this is a really good guitar. But the battery, like I said, I haven't had any issues with the battery, but like I don't know if the pickups won't work if the battery's not in there. I haven't tested it out. I actually can't even take this out. It's way too hard. And I don't want to risk it because, you know, look, it works fine as of now. 2011 Gibson Les Paul Gothic Morte, 1980s Gibson chainsaw case. Yeah, this is a cool combo that I just got.